is CNN.
38 after the hour now, and a diplomatic spat between the United States and India. This could get a lot uglier. India says the U.S. must drop charges and apologize for the arrest of its deputy consul in New York.
Yeah, and India is particularly outraged. The U.S. Marshals strip-searched the woman. Devyani Khobragade is accused of lying on her Indian nanny's visa application about the woman's pay. Prosecutors say the nanny was paid well below minimum wage and was overworked. India is threatening to retaliate against American diplomats there now.
Well, let's bring in CNN legal analyst and defense attorney Paul Callan in New York. Here in Atlanta, we have former prosecutor Tanya Miller. Good to have both of you.
Good to be here.
Nice to be with you. Let's start with you, Tanya, because you're in studio. India claims that Khobragade has diplomatic immunity.
Right.
Right? So that's the first thing that pops up. The U.S. says, no, she doesn't.
Right.
Who's right here?
Well, you know, it's interesting here, Victor, because there is this thing we know as diplomatic immunity. It belongs to ambassadors and traditionally people who are considered true diplomats. There is some limited immunity for people like this woman who is a consular employee. However, it typically only protects them when they're acting in their official capacity. It doesn't seem like she was acting in her official capacity when she lied on this visa application. So that is why the U.S. attorney feels like they are well within their rights to charge her criminally for that act.
So her defense team will have to prove what she was doing was part of her official duties for that limited immunity. Paul, I want to go to you now. You know, we've seen these protests in India. They're claiming that, you know, she was forced to strip and she had her cavity searched and her treatment was barbaric. But we're hearing from the prosecutor in this case. He's saying, look, she was afforded courtesies not normally given to people, that she was strip searched in private by a female, female marshal. They were playing by the book here. But what do you think? Could the situation have been handled more diplomatically?
Well, you know, Pamela, I spoke to her attorney yesterday here in New York, and he very firmly states that she was not treated with respect and dignity and in the way that the arrest was processed. A lot of times in white-collar cases like this, the defendant is told in advance through their lawyer that they're going to be arrested and they're allowed to surrender voluntarily, and the process is very different from someone who is sort of rounded up on the street, as was done here. I'm a little surprised, given the relationship between India and the United States, that it was handled this way. I think they were a little rough in the handling. Now, on the other side of the coin here, everybody gets searched before they get put into custody. Somebody might have a gun or a knife or drugs. So eventually you're going to be searched. But it sounds to me like she was treated sort of in a way that you wouldn't expect of a diplomat from a friendly U.S. ally.
I want to go next to this child endangerment case that a lot of people are talking about. This is out of the St. Louis region. And so there's a mother who faces charges after a topless photo of this mom and her daughter appeared on Snapchat. Now, the mom's face in this video you're about to see is blurred to protect the daughter's identity. Another daughter apparently took the picture while the mom and the daughter were in a hot tub. It's been wildly circulated at the high school that the woman's son attends. Listen to this soundbite.
The issue here is the fact that the daughter was 14 and the mother was very clearly present, involved when the picture was taken.
I wasn't posing. I was getting out of a tub. I was aware that the photo was taken by my 13-year-old daughter, and I specifically told her at that second, please delete that photo.
This was a mother who made a very poor choice. I don't think she had any intention that this thing blew up the way it did, but it did, and she only has her poor judgment to blame for that.
Topless photo, mother and daughter. Tanya, is this just this charge of child endangerment?
Well, you know, I really don't think so. But again, Victor, I mean, we don't have all the facts yet. I haven't seen the photo. I don't know if there is some history that maybe the prosecution is aware of regarding this family. There were some allegations that the daughter had some prior contact with the courts due to engaging in this kind of behavior, taking nude photographs of herself. So there might be some more behind it. But frankly, when you talk about child endangerment, you're typically talking about putting that child in danger. You see this in cases where parents they have meth labs in the house and they have kids there, or they are driving drunk with kids in the car. Taking a photo and putting it on Snapchat, I mean, I don't know. I think this might be a little aggressive.
Quick from you, Paul.
Paul, what do you think? I mean, overeager prosecutor here or not?
Yeah, I have to agree with Tanya. You know, because I was looking at the statute in Missouri, which basically says that you have to engage in an act that causes serious physical injury or serious emotional harm to the child. Now, I'm not so sure what emotional harm is going to be caused to the child here. The other thing, you know, the statute doesn't say specifically what you can do or can't do in raising a child. And frankly, if the child was covered up and the mother was covered up, even with their hands, the coverage is probably more than a bikini would be on a beach. So, you know, in the end, I'm not so sure what it amounts to except stupidity on the part of the mother. And usually we don't charge stupidity as a crime in the United States. We wouldn't have enough prisons, I'm afraid, to
Although
handle
sometimes we should, unfortunately.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Paul Callan, CNN legal analyst, Tanya Miller, former prosecutor. Good to have you both.
Yeah,
Thank
interesting
you.
discussion.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
And still to come right here on New Day, we're going to bring you